Morning troops, Dr. Corey here. Hey, thanks for your patience. The last week I was on vacation and then I came back and some sort of a virus decided to pay me a visit. So I owe a huge debt of gratitude and I want to make a few shout outs to the individuals who stepped in to somewhat be Corey. I had to actually cancel a trip to Nashville to train some of our new Diet Doc program owners, and Erin Merle of the Diet Doc Nashville and the Diet Doc Lifestyle stepped in and really did some good work and provided an amazing amount of support to our new owners. Of course, to my business partner and the Diet Doc founder, Dr. Joe Klemzeski, thank you for your grace and your patience. I really wish I could have been there. And then to Steve Stewart, our communications director, who is also in Nashville and provides just a huge amount of support and accountability and resources to all of our owners and our new owners who are in Nashville. I'm sorry I could not be there. But I wanted to talk to you guys today about what kind of was going through my head as I was laying there and sleeping for 12 hours at a time and waking up to be in this space where anyone who knows me knows I love to eat, and I had absolutely zero appetite. I had absolutely zero energy to move and do anything, and knew I needed to honor that. Thanks, Mom, too. Anyone who still has their mothers around, whether you're 4 or 40, understands that when you're sick, that's a time when you really appreciate your mother's support as well. But here's what was going through my head as I'm thinking, I don't necessarily like not having an appetite. I thought, how many of us think of appetite? Because of course, we're in this sphere of weight loss and health and trying to be our best selves in terms of exercise and nutrition. How many of us actually think of appetite in regards to the pursuit of our lives? Because appetite to me embodies energy. And as I thought through this, I'm like, appetite comes through the attitudes that we embody. And I wanted to kind of define for you today what attitude is, and I want to issue you guys a challenge. Attitude is a mode of being, okay? It's the way in which we dedicate ourselves to the manner in which we think, okay? And attitude is a felt sense, okay? Because again, there's an energy underneath it. There's an appetite to move forward, to progress, to pursue. My question to you is whether you deliberately choose a specific attitude to do things with, to start your day, to engage in a discussion with a colleague, to compose an email, to prepare a meal. And what might happen if you were more intentional in choosing your attitude? Now, say that you choose to approach listening to and watching this video, for example, with a certain attitude. Perhaps you choose an attitude of openness. If you chose openness, now let's reflect upon how I would know you're being open. If you were watching this with openness, and you were then going to go out into the world with openness, what might that look like? Okay, what does one who is open do? What does one who is open, how do they think? What do they feel? What do they say? How do they express themselves? So if you were being deliberately open and consciously practicing openness, what activities would you engage in? Okay. Now, would you ask more questions? Would you make fewer assumptions and notice when you're being caught in black and white thinking or being judgmental in some way? if this is a difficult question for you to answer, think of someone who you know and understand to be and would classify as open, okay? What makes you describe that person as open? Think through this too. Open might be looked at differently by different people, by different individuals that you know, by your friends, by your family members. Consider whether acting and embodying an attitude of openness could happen differently also in different contexts. And I challenge you to ask your friends and family what openness means to them and what would that look like for them and for other people. Now, the reason I'm asking you to do this is to help you to begin increasing your level of awareness, okay? We know that part of being fully alive, okay, fully functioning, being the most integrated human you could possibly be, really requires you to develop your capacity to reflect, all right, and to take stock and to operate from a place of equanimity, but also impartiality, all right? And this means not getting sucked into a valence of bad or good, black or white. And if you do, because you are human and we will, what it means is that with practice, you're going to notice faster when you are, okay? We're never going to be free from thinking with those sorts of distortions or in biased ways. We just won't. Again, we're human and that's natural. But we can start observing, all right, noticing that we do and begin correcting it. And the more we practice, the more often we're going to notice and the more quickly we're going to notice and be able to make those course corrections. So developing that capacity to hold literally multiple truths in our minds at the same time is a skill, and it enhances not only our awareness but our emotional intelligence, okay? So today, my challenge to you is to pick, for one activity, pick your attitude. Pick your attitude beforehand. How are you going to go into that activity? If this is hard, I'm going to give you a short list right now of different attitudes that you could choose from. You could choose from compassion. You could choose an attitude of zest, energy, okay? Aliveness, enthusiasm. Choose an attitude of love. Choose an attitude of hope. Choose an attitude of inspiration. You could choose an attitude of wonder and awe, of peace, perhaps. You could choose an attitude of diligence. You could choose an attitude of industriousness. You could choose an attitude of assertiveness. You could choose an attitude of determination. You could choose an attitude of, how about flexibility? We like that word. You could choose an attitude of modesty, maybe one of responsibility, or maybe you choose an attitude of humor. Okay? How awesome might it be to go into a particular situation with one of these attitudes? Please post what you discover. You guys have an awesome day. Thanks.